Welcome back, everyone. It is Sunday sit-down time. Summer workouts are underway ahead of a new high school football season, also ahead of a new era out at Southern Boone, as Tyler Tanner has taken the reins of the head football program there. Tyler is kind enough to join us today on Sunday sit-down. Tyler, thanks for making some time for us.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited to sit down and talk some Southern Boone football with you guys and just promote the program a little bit.
You know, just tell me, how excited are you for your first head football coaching opportunity there in Ashland?
You know, really excited. I spent the last 5 years as head baseball coach at West Strand, and to transition into football, it's been a process a little bit. It's a different speed, a different kind of an animal, but the people around have been so gracious and so fantastic as far as support is concerned. You know, great administration, great guys around me in the weight room and on the coaching staff. So it's been really nice so far, and to just hit the ground running and get to going this summer has been extremely exciting.
Well, can you kind of take me through your coaching journey here? You said that you were the head baseball coach at West Strand. You were also the offensive coordinator there for a while.
I was the offensive coordinator there for 9 years. Got my start in 2015, actually a special teams coordinator there. And then the next year became the offensive coordinator. It was a really good time. You know, I learned a lot. I learned a ton of just offensive philosophies around some great guys and some great minds at West Strand, and I'm forever grateful for my time there. And then as the past couple of years have been going, you know, I've kind of realized I want to take the opportunity and become a head football coach. And at the end of the day, Southern Boone was just an excellent place to start off. Interviewed there, they offered me the job, and I couldn't be any more excited than to have landed to be an Eagle.
You know, tell me, you know, you're an offensive mind, you were an offensive coordinator for 9 years at West Strand. You know, just kind of what is the style of offense that you want to bring to this Southern Boone program?
You know, it's one that plays extremely fast and extremely physical. We try to get the ball to our playmakers in space as much as we can and pound the rock whenever we need to. You know, I like it whenever everybody's playing on the same page. You know, everybody understands everybody's assignment, everybody does their job and does it extremely well, and it does it extremely fast. So, you know, right now it's a transition from what it's been. The terminology is a little bit different, but the kids have done a really, really fantastic job of grasping onto that, learning some of those new nuances and asking the right questions along the way.
You know, what's kind of the culture that you want to establish there, and, you know, how well has, you know, in this early stages of summer workouts, have the players kind of grasped onto that?
You know, we're looking to play a fast and physical brand of football, and these summer workouts have been tremendous so far. The kids have showed up every day ready to work with a great attitude, and I've seen some great things in the weight room and on the field. We've had a few practices and a 7-on-7, and while the install process is still there, those kids are doing a great job of being able to start to understand what we're looking for, what we expect, and how to start playing fast in this offense.
7 out of the 10 years you were at West Strand, you guys had a winning record. You know, what were some of the lessons that you took away from your time there to kind of translate that success that you had there into your new program here in Ashland?
I think the biggest thing for me, and you know, my philosophy going forward, is to keep it simple. Keep it simple so that kids can play fast and confident. You know, there was a couple of years there, like you said, that we had those losing records, and you know, whenever you reevaluate your coaching style at the end of the season, you realize that you could have put kids in a better position to play a little bit more fast. And so then, as you tweak your philosophy along the way, you know, and I'm going to every year from here on out as well, you realize that keeping things simple so the kids can play fast, confident, and just be able to execute everything on a Friday night is the most important thing going forward.
You know, Southern Boone has also have a rich history of being a winning culture too. You know, just what has been the community support like for this program, you know, in the early stages of your time here?
You know, the administration has been fantastic. The coaching staff, the guys in the weight room with me have been amazing. You know, they're really hardworking guys. They're a really hardworking community. The community has been extremely supportive. You know, the outreach and just the camaraderie that you can tell is already within that community is fantastic. So, you know, to go in there into an already established culture, into an already established program, and be able to take that over and try to enhance that, you know, it's been a blessing so far. And I'm, again, you know, just really excited to be here, really excited to get going. And, you know, the community, can't really say enough about it, has been fantastic.
Well, I want to talk a little bit about the team that you got this year. You know, you just started the early stages of summer workouts here. Just how has that been going? And, you know, what have you liked you've seen from your team thus far?
I've liked seeing them show up every day. You know, we've had consistent numbers every day, and the guys that have showed up have really come to work, head down, nose down on the grind, and have just been, you know, fantastic to work with. Great personalities in that weight room, great leadership in that weight room. I've been so proud of these seniors because it's a tough transition going from having one coach their entire high school career to another one. But those seniors have done a fantastic job of buying in, of trusting what it is that we're doing now versus what they have been doing in the past. And I've really appreciated that culture and what those seniors have brought to the table. Ultimately,
you know, what are kind of your ultimate goals for this first year as head football coach here in Southern Boone?
I think that the biggest goal is again, we want to establish an identity that plays fast and physical. You know, we want to be a team that puts a great product out on the field every Friday night, that has relentless effort, and you can tell works in the off season and takes pride in what they do. And you know, my goals aren't in the win and loss column. My goals are to see these young men these young men grow throughout their career, to grow throughout the season, to face adversity and to be able to overcome adversity and put them in position to where we're setting them up for greater successes later in life.
Absolutely. You know, it's always a joy being out there at Southern Boone to cover you guys. We're really excited to see the program that you bring out there this fall, and we'll be out to practice, you know, once workouts get going underway a little bit more, and we'll be happy to talk to you again.
That'll be awesome, man. I appreciate it. Appreciate the coverage, and we're excited for this fall as well.
Absolutely. We're all looking forward to it. I'm sure our viewers are too. We'll be right back with more right after the break.